Welcome to Joe's Atmosphere.
Cook your shrimp, please. All of a sudden, my shrimp pan is burning up like a smoke fest.
Okay. All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard to this episode of State of the Atmosphere. Tonight, we're going to have a spoiler review of The Flash, and you might be surprised with some of my takes on this movie. Also, now that the DC Universe has decided to jump into the multiverse stuff, let's talk about who has been the best at playing these iconic roles. The Batman of the world and the Superman of the world. Who has done the best? We're going to discuss all that. Plus, if we have time, we're going to get back to the IGN top 100 video games of all time. And that's all tonight on State of the Atmosphere. All right, folks, welcome aboard for State of the Atmosphere. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere, and as usual, I've got a few friends along for the ride. First in tonight was Knock. What's happening, man? How you doing? Oh, you're nuked again, buddy. Your voice is messing up again. See if it'll work for you. We'll get back to you. And of course, we got Das Wolfen in tonight. Yeah, hear you now, Knock. Yep.
Something. It's like when I try to change the volume on it, it just goes on auto mute or something. I don't know why.
Okay. John, how you doing? I know you gotta
doing good.
Go do some things later on during the show, but you're here for the start.
Yep.
Got Niece playing softball. Is that right?
Yep. It's her last game of the year or the season, anyway.
That'll work, man. That'll work. And of course, we've got Matt from Small Time Republic. How's it going, man?
Going good. Good to be here.
Or maybe
or is he?
Scroll. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. God, man.
I'm halfway through it. I was watching it before I came in here.
Really? Okay. We'll talk
right
about
after.
it next week for sure. We'll talk about it next week. And last but not least, we got Jed, my video game playing brother. What's going on, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. How's you guys today? So.
What's that, bud?
I say, how's everybody on the panel today? How's
doing great,
doing?
man. Doing great. I know I am. Knox got a few mic problems, but he's getting over them.
Excited for tonight?
Yes. Now that I know how to read the map and
hopefully
I can navigate. Oh, Knock was bad last time, dude.
Dude, he ran around in circles. For an hour and a half.
Yeah. I kept going from the cantina back to the apartments, to the cantina, back to the apartment. And I finally figured out how to read that map. It was just silly. Okay, so let's see what we got. Who's in here tonight? Well, the first guy in was Christian. He's asking me how I lost power in June in Louisiana. Well, a thunderstorm, bro. One they weren't expecting, and it knocked out power to 230,000 people in the 4-state area around the red. It was ridiculous. It was one of these things. You see, usually when we have hurricanes come in, they know it's coming, so they beef up for it. They get people in place, they stage and get ready for, that kind of destruction. This was a 20-minute thunderstorm that just popped up out of nowhere, and turns out there was an F1 tornado involved in it too. So it did a lot of damage. A lot of trees turned over. Then we got Lord Toth. He's in. It's good to see you, man. And let's see. I think that's everybody. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can get started. Let's see what we got first tonight, guys. Let me take a look here. Yeah, we're going to talk about The Flash. Now, if anybody out there hasn't seen The Flash yet and you're worried about spoilers, we are going to talk spoilers. So you might want to come back when you see me put up a graphic of the Batman or the Superman. If you see this one or this one, you know you're good to go. But right now, we're going to cover The Flash, and we are going to talk spoilers during it. So let's get started with it. First of all, who on the panel has seen it?
I have.
Okay. All right. So the top guys have, and the guys on the bottom haven't seen it, but they're not worried about it.
Last night,
yeah,
I went on YouTube and saw somebody that I watch a lot, so I saw all the little tips and spoilers and everything.
Okay.
Just to,
right.
you know. So,
yeah, and Matt's not worried about it.
So. Yeah, I'm not. Me and Matt are worried about it.
So, like, does 95-year-old Gene Hackman show up at any point, or
no? And that was one of the things that I really wish, you know, it was kind of my problem with Ready Player One. They went about halfway with what they could have done there. You know what I mean? They really did. There was a bunch of stuff they could have put in there that they didn't put in there. But some of the stuff that they put in was pretty cool, though. They did do the black and white era. They had Jay Garrick running in a bubble with all the black and white era Superman stuff in it, and they did have the Nicolas Cage Superman fighting a giant spider, which is funny as hell. You know, if you've seen that what was it? Was it a talk he was giving, or was it an interview he was doing where Kevin Smith talked about that?
Yeah,
documentary.
Yeah. But yeah,
and we all know Kevin cried when he saw that. So.
Whatever. Kevin's coming here. We have a Comic-Con in August called GeekCon, and you know, I go to it every year, and he's coming, and whatever, Kevin. I love some of his movies, but you know, I don't know the way he's jacked up He-Man and some other things. I can't be on board with that guy anymore.
Yeah.
But he was one of us at one time. He was one of the outsiders and geek guys but I don't know what happened to him along the way. But getting back to the flick, I think there's a good movie in there, but as I've said from the beginning of his reign as the Flash, Ezra Miller is just not good as Barry Allen. He's just not. He's an erratic weirdo, basically, you know, and Barry Allen's character is just not like that. But other than that, I thought, it was great to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. And I loved how they introduced him. Like he was a recluse, like he was Howard Hughes. You know what I mean? He was looked like an old homeless guy beating her ass in the kitchen. That was hilarious.
Yep.
That was
that
great.
Part where he came down that first time when you saw him back as Batman was just, I got chills on that part. Because I love Michael Keaton. Besides Adam West, Michael Keaton's one of my favorite Batmans.
Yeah.
So,
we'll talk about our favorites as far as Batman goes here in a little while. We'll save that discussion for a minute. But I really thought that. Now, the explanation of time travel was different than you usually hear in a time travel movie. The spaghetti theory, where it actually fractured the entire timeline and sent ripples up both ends of it. I thought that was intriguing. What did you guys think?
Well, I thought it was great that they were like, well, you may have heard of it as it creates branches. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Right? That's not how it works.
That was clearly a dig at Marvel. I laughed at that one. It was like, yeah, that's not how it works.
Yeah. All right. E. Clay Thomas is in the house. Let's see. Lord Toss says Keaton sucks. Terrible casting. Oh, wow. Well, I think he's the best Bruce Wayne, and we'll get into that in a little while.
I will say that.
I really think this movie was geared to people. Donald Wolfen, Jed, we're all either 50 or above.
Yeah.
And I really think it was made for guys like us, because it really did have a lot of member berries for us in it, you know. And the whole thing about the spaghetti thing was pretty cool. That meant that, you know, one action could change things all up and down that timeline, right? And really create a whole bunch of different realities. Some of the effects in it, of course, we were talking before the show, and they were right on about the CGI. The CGI in it is bad.
Oh, it's god awful. It's worse than Wonder Woman 2.
Yeah,
and that was pretty bad.
It was bad, yeah.
Because you could see the wires in the movie.
Yeah,
at points.
Yeah. Well, the thing I didn't like, am I the only guy that thought when he was running in the bubble, the representation of time around him looked like the Thunderdome from the COVID era of WWE? I mean, it was really strange looking, man.
It did, because they did, because in one of the clips they showed of the channel I went to last night, it did look like that.
The Thunderdome from WWE if it had PS1 graphics.
Right?
Yes.
It was really weird, man. I mean, I don't know if they were going for that look, but it just didn't look good.
It did take me a second to comprehend what they were going for there.
Right, yeah.
At first.
It was supposed to be ripples going up and things changing and just it didn't come off right.
There has to be an explanation for all this. I mean, it's the fact that if you look at the budgets, there's just no excuse for movies to look this bad.
Sure it is. It's the actors' pay.
Avatar, $400 million. The actors getting paid? Is that what it is?
Pay, yeah. It's just,
but Avatar 2 made $2 billion plus, so
that shouldn't have been a problem. Yeah,
that wasn't a problem for them. This movie, however, it's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. But you know, it was on the shelf for so long, and they really, guys, you know, they're moving on from this. This is the thing. This show has no pertinence towards what they're doing going forward. So I guess it might have been a move to try and, you know, just say, hey, we're not going to spend another dime on it. You know, just make what we make off of it.
Of course, CNN had to spin it in a direction that didn't blame the fact that there's not good movies. They said, oh, Elemental and The Flash didn't do well at the box office. That's going to mean could mean a rough summer for the box office. And I'm like, no, there are certain movies that will do well and certain ones that won't.
Talk to me again about a bad summer when Dead Reckoning Part 1 comes out.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it then.
On that one.
Mission Impossible is going to hit $1 billion easy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you just got to make something that people want to see, and people know. I mean, even a lot of the normies know that this has nothing to do with what they're going to do moving forward. You know, and plus, I mean, the Ezra factor has a lot to do with it. I mean, people know that he's just a flake, and
he looks more like a villain than a hero.
What's funny is he's the villain in the show.
Oh, he is.
He ends up being the villain of the fucking story.
He's the villain.
Yeah.
I was hoping.
It's basically Doctor
Strange going
Strange.
to kill him.
It's basically Doctor Strange.
It's basically what it's the Multiverse of Madness, DC style.
Yeah,
basically.
That's exactly how it is. Keely Chow says Batman and Batman Returns are awesome. Yes, they are, buddy.
Yes, they
Batman
are.
Returns is Batman Returns may be one of the greatest Batman movies ever made. It's very underrated.
It is.
It is
especially
dynamite.
with Show 5 for his Catwoman.
Anybody who didn't like Batman Returns is a okay, Keely.
Keely taking the meds that fucking she was the Ariel was on last night.
He said I'd rather watch 2 episodes of Batwoman than The Flash. Well, I mean, there were good things in it. Now, you guys know that I dig this chick right here, right?
Yeah.
And one thing I thought was neat was where she was. She was in Russia. And was I the only one that had thought about the Red Sun storylines?
Yes,
when I heard that, I was like, wow, that sounds like they're trying to stick some of that into the story there.
Well, I was wondering if they were going to do a Red Sun thing, but then again, they kept her locked up. So
yeah. But you understand what I'm saying. I thought it was neat that that she was in Russia. But when I got to tell you guys, and you know, I've she's my favorite DC character. I loved her. I love the portrayal of her. I know she looks all wrong, but dude, she was
She looked all right to me.
Well, I'm just saying she looks hot. Don't get me wrong. It's just, Supergirl's got a certain look, and she, they just went totally away from that. But the character though, wow, man, when Zod told her what happened to Clark, and she flipped out. I was sitting there with my wife, and when he said the child didn't survive, I was like, oh my God, she is about to flip out on this motherfucker. And she sure enough did, man. It was awesome. I really thought the girl did a good job playing Supergirl. She really did. I wish they'd, of course, you can only polish a turd so much, but
yes.
I thought she did a really good job, man.
I want to hear John, before I give my take, I want to hear John's take in what he thought about it.
Yeah.
Because I think I have a different take than you do.
Oh, okay. Go for
it. It was okay.
All right, thanks, John. All right, I'll tell mine.
It's okay.
I like the Keaton stuff. The Ezra Miller stuff that takes up the first half of the movie sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way to put it. It's horrible. It's poor writing.
Mm-hmm.
Ezra Miller can't act his way out of a paper bag.
Yeah.
It's just, the whole, they tried to do Flashpoint and failed. And, it picked up a little bit when Keaton shows up. It's cool that Keaton's there. When the worlds were collapsing on each other and you saw all the other worlds, that was cool, even though the CGI was horrible.
Yeah. I thought, when I saw it, I thought of Injustice 2, because that's how they show the multiverse in Injustice 2. It's a bunch of little globes,
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. I'm with you on that. But I think they only went halfway. They could have shown a lot more. We could have seen Adriana Palicki's Wonder Woman in there and all kinds of stuff, man. They could have shown a bunch of stuff,
Well, I thought it was cool. We saw Christopher Reeve and Helen Slater's Supergirl.
Yes. The two of them together.
Cool.
That was cool. I got a soft spot for that girl. Hell yeah.
And the actor that played Jay Garrick, in the classic black and white Golden Age, was Teddy Sears, who played the villain, the Thrawn version of him. Because when he was keeping him, that was the Zoom, rather.
Yeah, in Flash,
Zoom.
The TV show.
Oh,
the Flash TV show.
Yeah,
he's from the Flash TV show, but he was Jay Garrick, pretended to be Jay Garrick on that. So they actually used him for that. That's cool. Who the model is for that.
Yeah.
And
as far as the Flash story goes, I like the CW Flash better than I do.
Yeah. I wonder why they put him in and they didn't put, real Flash from the TV show in there. That's, we have the Flash from the 90s in there. Why didn't they put him in there?
Yeah.
Those were the two. I was like, okay, you're going to have Flash. You got to have Flash from the 90s TV show and the new one. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
They just had two Ezras. They doubled up the Ezra.
It's two Ezras. You could have evened out some of that Flash goodness with them and got rid of one of the Ezras and
But the thing I did like about the end of it was, no matter what he did, he couldn't change it. They were gonna fucking lose, no matter what happened. He had fucking fucked shit up.
It was a fixed point in time, Joe. It was like you couldn't, like in Doctor Who, there's certain fixed points in time.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Well, I'm not a Doctor Who guy, so I wouldn't get that reference at all. So, okay, Knock.
It's in the new Spider-Verse too. It's a canon event.
Yeah. Gotcha. So, what'd you think, Knock? What'd you think?
So this is putting aside that one. I don't do the comics, so I don't know what the real Flash is. And this is putting aside. I had to putting aside Ezra Miller's, off-screen antics. To me, I think more than Michael Keaton enhanced it, he wasn't the best part for me. It actually was Ezra Miller.
Really?
As we're, I was intrigued by everything that he did in that. I thought he was. I know that that's not the real Barry Allen or whatever his character is supposed to be, but his version of it kept me interested. I thought they did a good job separating his present self than the past self.
Yeah.
I thought they did a good job separating those two.
Yeah. I'll tell you real quick before you go any further. Real quick, let me say, I get you on that point. You could tell the difference between the two Ezra Millers. You could tell the difference. The kid was a lot more erratic, if that's even possible, than the other guy, for sure. He did a good job on that. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, there was just times where I could see, like, man, if this guy wasn't such a cuckoo, that, I don't know, I actually really liked his acting in it. I thought that portrayal of those two different positions, was really good. And there was times where he, I thought like when he was in that electric chair, I was like, damn, that's a crazy moment,
that was also from the comics too, Joe.
And so I thought that was a pretty crazy scene. And then I thought Michael Keaton coming into, I don't think he took over, not for me anyways. I thought he enhanced it. But I didn't think
he definitely didn't overpower the story. He didn't.
And so I don't know. I actually really enjoyed as it was, trying to block out all the other stuff,
And I will admit, I could have blinders on when it comes to Ezra Miller. I think he's a total fucktard.
And I tried to take him off because, I think he's a cuckoo but if they made another Flash and he was in it, I would still watch it.
Yeah.
Basically.
They're still going to lose money if they put him in it, though. So
well,
I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it if he's not in it, but it wouldn't prevent me from watching a second one with him in it. So
all right, well,
that was my view. That's what my view was. I thought he was great.
Talking about the part that you're talking about where they had to electrify him to try and get his powers back in him.
Yeah.
That was really cool, and I loved it when Supergirl picked him up and took him into the clouds. I thought that was awesome, man. Because I was wondering what that was in the trailer. You know me, I watch all the trailers, and I want to see everything, see what Easter eggs they dip in them, and I had no clue that's what was going on in the trailer. I was like, oh, shit, that's what she's doing. That's fucking cool, Like I said, there was some really good stuff in it. There was some good stuff
and then the younger Flash being smitten over her. I thought that cracked me up.
Yep.
So although the one thing that bothered me in that one is I wish they didn't even show Irish Flash or Irish West.
Yeah,
that was so inconsequential.
It was.
I don't even know why they put her in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why. She added nothing to that movie.
When I was looking at that knock, I was like, okay, because
it was a checkbox. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was. I was like, why?
There was just no reason for it.
Yeah. We have to get this character in there.
Yeah, it was. That it's like a little part at the beginning and then a little part at the end. I was like, why is she even here? Like, what?
Yeah, I think
our girl Ariel is here, so it's good to see you.
What were you going to say, Matt? Whose initials are DEI.
What is that now? Say it again.
I think we need a character whose initials are DEI.
DEI standing for
designated something or other.
Yeah, diversity and inclusion.
Oh yeah.
Like have that be the person's initials. Come up with whatever.
Well, isn't that the new rule for the Academy coming up in a few years? Like it has to be, your cast has to be diverse in order for you to get
in order
to be eligible.
I don't know how long those rules are going to last, though, guys. I mean, Disney just got rid of their diversity and inclusion person today, didn't they?
If you
I'm
want
pretty
that
sure
link,
she
have
was fired
it for
today.
You.
Oh yeah, she was shit canned.
Yeah,
she wasn't just let go. She was shit canned because she was not allowed to. There was no statement beforehand. They released a statement about her leaving at 7:30 at night.
Yeah.
Well, and there'll be two people put in her position. I mean,
there you go, Joe, if you want that.
Okay. Yeah. What was that?
I already had it.
What was her name? Latondra Newton.
Yeah.
Exit my butt. She was
Newton.
They pulled one of those ones like Bill Murray trying to see how fast security could get her on the street, right?
Yeah. I already had that set up for Friday. So
yeah, I'm sure, man. But yeah, she got let go of today. So I kind of wonder how long that's gonna be. These rules that the Academy have come up with. I mean, with what's going on with, and we'll get back to the movie in just a second, but since it was touched on, with all the, how do I put this? People with money are voting with their money now, and certain corporations are hurting from it. I think they might be cutting back on some of those rules
more
they
than
were
they
thinking
can
about.
chew, basically.
Yeah. What's Ariel talking about? She said, "I'm also dual streaming." Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. Go for it. But anyway, but bottom line, there was some good stuff here. I think I really think the way it looked to me, it looked like they gave up on this flick and they just did enough to make it passable to put out. Is what it looked like to me, because they really. I dug the little stuff they had at the end of it with the different multiverses, but there's so much more they could have done. My gosh, there's so much more they could have done.
So maybe Zaslav stepped in and said, "You can't spend one more time.
You cannot spend another motherfucking dime on this. Just polish it up a
Yeah.
little bit. Let's get it out so we can make some of this money.
Try
back.
to make it look like gold somewhat, and then push it out. Like,
yeah, it's it just makes
And
and it's a shame.
To the saying, Mythbusters proved you could polish a turd.
Oh God.
They,
no.
They did.
No.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they
okay,
did.
fine. Whatever. I stand corrected. I still say it. I'm still going to say it for the rest of the time.
Technically, it was a petrified turd, but it was still a turd.
That's a loophole.
Yeah, you could.
That's the loophole. It's got to be completely solid.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But bottom line, I dug where they were going with it. But it's a shame that I'm no big Snyderverse fan at all, but this is basically the death of the Snyderverse, this flick right here. And they've still got 2 more things coming out.
No, yeah.
They've got Blue Beetle, which I think is going to suffer because this one didn't do well.
Well, now, James Gunn did come out and say Blue Beetle is the first character of the new DCU.
Really? So he's going to keep
with
that one
Aquaman, basically.
Yeah.
This one and Aquaman 2. And Aquaman 2.
Aquaman is where it ends, and then Blue Beetle's where it starts. The new universe starts.
Well, then they're kind of screwing it up. Then they need to put out Aquaman next. Then
yeah.
Well, they're still doing reshoots for Aquaman.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Speaking of polishing a turd.
Oh, damn it! Damn it! Damn you, Matt!
He beat you to it.
God, he did.
Oh man, Wheel of Snake says the Flash didn't learn a lesson at the end because he changed time again. Yeah, well, hey,
who doesn't want more Clooney?
Right? Who doesn't want more Clooney? Yeah, that
I have to say though,
I
was so hoping to see Robin somewhere in there, just like screwing something up. But
right? Yeah.
As soon as I saw Clooney, I was like, "Where is he? Where's Robin?"
Now you want to talk about the worst post-credit scene ever?
Oh yeah,
drunk Aquaman.
Yeah,
saying, "I'm okay. I'm fine right here in a fucking puddle. This is where I live." Come on, man.
See, they cut that scene because they were supposed to be, because they had changed. I guess they had done that the George Clooney thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed. That scene was supposed to have. It didn't end there. Barry eventually gets him up to his apartment,
and
he's on the couch, passed out, drunk.
Yeah,
and they you see how Flash put his face through the thing. Well, they do that with Batfleck. Ben Affleck, and he says, "Barry, you're in the wrong timeline."
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does. He actually does. Because I saw it last night. I was going through YouTube and watching all the clips and everything.
Wow.
So I did see that.
That was originally what that scene was, but they cut it down and.
Yeah, there's somewhere on YouTube, and I found it last night. They have the whole scene. So.
Well, I thought it was funny that they had Clooney at the end of it. I laughed. I actually laughed. I thought that was a pretty good little joke.
the worst Batman
Yeah, he got stuck.
I don't know.
Batman.
Look, we're fixing to transition into that conversation, but I don't know how you can judge that because he was only in that movie 15 minutes. There wasn't even enough to judge whether or not he was a good Batman or not.
What, Clooney?
Yeah, Clooney.
Clooney had his own movie.
I'm telling you, in that movie, go watch that movie again. He's on screen about 15 minutes in that whole flick. It's all Batgirl and Robin, the whole damn show.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. Well, but you got bat nipples. So
yeah, you did get bat nipples, no doubt.
And when he busts out with the credit card.
And the bat credit card. Oh, man. Yep.
Joel Schumacher was a lunatic.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Run out and go see it in the theater. Nah, there's nothing there that you have to see in the theater for sure.
Well,
but
watch it when it's HBO
when it
Max
comes on Max, watch it. Give it a watch and see if you like it because there is some good stuff there. And I got to tell you, of course, I'm biased. I have my biases. I dug Supergirl in it. I thought she was fantastic, man. I really did. So. Let's see. What's Ariel Ballet saying? Christopher Reeve also didn't learn a lesson when changing time. Yeah, they're having a time travel discussion in there. Captain Finity, if you're out there, please don't come in here and kick my chat's ass. Please don't.
Just don't mention a certain movie and he won't show up. Okay? It's like Beetlejuice. Whenever you mention that movie, he shows up.
Which movie's that?
No, I'm not going to say it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
give us a hint, Jed.
Yeah,
right.
No.
All right. So
Rise of Skywalker.
We had to deal with that on the MF, and it was ridiculous. Anytime we would say the movie title, he would just show up like.
What is it?
I'm not going to say.
Just say it, Jed. He's not going to show up over here. Trust me. He's not.
Yeah, that's what me and Matt used to think too.
Whatever. Type it in the private chat. Damn it.
Okay. So,
the next one we got to talk about, since they're getting into the multiverse and everything, let's talk about who were the best in these iconic roles, man. Who's the best Batman? Of course, one of them's not even shown here. Well, a few of them aren't shown here, but the best Superman. Who are the best at playing these roles, man? And
you're missing the Superman up there from the new CW show. You're missing him.
Yeah, he's not on there. I just grabbed some graphics just to put a marker in here. That's what I do. I mark them in case I want to. I have another channel where I can cut these up and throw them in there as clips, and that's how I do it. I mark them.
Yeah, the comic book nerd came out, and I was like, "Wait, you're missing one."
Yeah, and I hear that show's good. I watched. I watched the beginning of it, but I haven't really ever since. Look, my favorite one on that show, or excuse me, on CW was Stephen Amell. He was my favorite, and ever since that show's gone off the air, I lost all interest. So, but I did watch Supergirl all the way to the end, and he was good on that show. So but yeah, let's talk about it. First of all, let's start with Batman. He's the one that ended up showing up several different versions of him in this one. Let's start with Knock. Who's your favorite Batman and why? I think I know this already, but
the one they didn't show, which was Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that would be.
His was just a lot more grittier, more down to earth than most of the Batmans. It was a lot more realistic, in my opinion, of what you can claim to be realistic. Plus, it had one of the best performances by Heath Ledger. I've gone back and when that first came out, I went back and watched just Heath Ledger character, Joker, a bunch of times just because it was so good.
Yeah.
Christian Bale's my favorite.
Yeah. What about you, Das Wolfen? Who's your favorite?
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy. I hear that a lot. A lot of people say he's the best Batman. And let me tell you, man, from playing DC Universe Online, that's his voice on that game. And yeah, he's a tough sounding Batman.
Joe,
dude. He really
at
is.
one point, before the end of the Arrowverse, Kevin Conroy actually got to be on screen.
Oh, he was on Crisis of Infinite
he actually got to play
saw
Batman. Yeah,
I saw it. Yeah.
So.
Crisis on Infinite Earths is right around the time that I gave up on it because they killed my man off in that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Conroy, He's got the voice. He's got the. And what's funny is, everybody in Hollywood should take a lesson from Kevin Conroy. He didn't know shit about Batman when he took the part.
Yeah,
Didn't know anything about it, but he did the research to find out everything he could about the character to put this guy together for his voice acting. And oh man,
Joe, there was a real cool interview that says all that he goes, I was trying to get a job. I was trying to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said, my buddy told me about this place. He goes to interview. He goes, I don't know anything about Batman, but I'm going to, like you said, I'm going to start reading up on it. And that's how he came. Like, I think he said he was trying to do Transformers or something, and he like lowered it, but it was exciting. How the way
I watched that documentary when I was preparing to do a little homage to him when he passed away.
Yeah,
you just can't get jobs like that anymore, man. You can't just go to a hospital and be like, hey, I'm going to learn to be a doctor, but put me in coach. And I will learn.
I'll learn as I go, right?
To do that. I'll read a few books on it. I'll look at some pictures.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, my 100th surgery will go a lot better than this first one.
Yeah, there's certain jobs that
I'm going to grow into this job. I want to grow into
the on the job training, nah, not so much. Yeah.
But he became the greatest Batman out of all of them.
Is he your favorite too, Jed?
Well, it's a cross between. It's a three-way between Adam West, Michael Keaton, and Kevin.
I'm telling you, this guy's in the menage a trois.
It's a tie between the three of them. So
okay, you said I'm sorry, I was too. I got too much into the joke there. Conroy, Keaton, and who else?
Adam West.
Adam West.
Yeah, it's a tie between three of them.
Nobody's mentioned my guy yet, but that's okay. Matt, who do you like?
Michael Keaton, and it's mainly just because of the age I was whenever 89 Batman came out.
A lot of people underestimate that was a huge movie when it came out, man.
Yeah,
I went and saw it 3 times the first day it was out.
Dude, I went to go see it 4 times the first week it came out.
Yeah.
I watched it 5 times, and I wasn't even born yet.
I only saw it twice in the theater, so
yeah.
Noob. Those are rookie numbers. Get them up.
Right. Get them up, man.
Go back in time now.
Me and Joe had got on you, man. So.
Yeah, that's it. My favorite guy is Ben Affleck. I really think that overall, he's been the best Batman. Now, he hasn't been in the best movies. I'll give you that. But physically, he's the size the Bat is in the books.
Yes, I will agree with that.
Everybody else they've casted has been dwarves compared to what this guy is in the books. The other thing is the one knock I have on Bale's Batman, who I think is the next in line, really. He's too whiny as Bruce. He is too whiny as Bruce Wayne.
Bruce is confident in everything.
Yes, he is, that's something that Affleck portrays. You know what I mean?
Well, Keaton does that too at some points where
he does
really super confident and stuff. So
if I had someone we're leaving out,
which
go ahead.
That I'm not saying he's a good Batman or a good Bruce Wayne at all.
Okay.
But remember, Robert Patterson was also
Batman.
Pattinson
doesn't even figure into this conversation.
I know.
I mean, I'm in the minority here, obviously, but I actually enjoyed that Batman.
The only thing I liked about it was the fact his bat symbol was made out of the gun that killed his parents. I thought that was hard.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
let's see. What do we got here? What are these guys talking about in the chat? What's Ariel talking about? I don't know. Adam West wasn't really that great of a Batman, mainly because he completely only relied on his utility belt. He was a sign of the times.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the Rogues Gallery now, I would argue that Sid Caesar was a better Joker than any of them. I love that guy.
Cesar Romero.
Cesar Romero. That's it. Did I say Caesar the comedian? Yeah. Sorry about that. Cesar Romero.
Well,
his
Sid Caesar was
Joker
around at the time.
Kick ass, right? Yeah. I love
Cesar Romero with the mustache that was painted over. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You refused to shave it.
I thought you were talking about it. Yeah, I thought you were talking about it.
And at the comics when Adam West was, Batman used his utility belt at the time
a lot.
too.
Yeah.
So like it was the sign of the times.
Mm-hmm.
It was they matched up together.
Totally unreal, totally campy. I mean, you watch the first thing in that movie, he's telling him to give him the bat shark repellent. I mean, come on. Shark repellent.
It's corny as hell, but it fits.
It's too jacked up, man. But when it comes to his rogues gallery, when it comes to the Joker, the two guys that the only Academy Awards that superhero movies have won is guys playing the Joker.
Yeah.
It's Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger, and both of them did a great job at it. But
I still think Jack Nicholson did one of the best portrayals.
Yeah, he did.
Joker.
He did.
And you mentioned.
Go ahead,
Joe. You mentioned Affleck. I think had he been casted, were he to be cast in that role like maybe 10 years prior to when he was, it would not have worked.
No,
I think he needed to be a more mature guy.
And I told everybody, that they always leaned on me because of my knowledge of comic books and stuff at work. And when Batman versus Superman came out, they were like, "How Ben Affleck's gonna suck at it." They were all like, and they were thinking about the J-Lo chasing, drinking, womanizing guy and everything. And I was like, guys, you don't understand. This guy's older now. And I'm with you on that, Matt. If it was 10 years beforehand, he'd have sucked at it. He wouldn't. But the thing about him is he knows the lore. He reads comic books. He's always been into it.
And Ben Affleck, this is not a criticism of him, but he does have that arrogance about him.
Yeah,
and that helps in that role.
It does.
I just kept trying to find where Matt Damon was, but I don't know.
Right? Keep wanting to say, what would have been funny is that when
Matt
they showed
Damon
all
and
those
Robin.
worlds collide, you want to see something funny, have Matt Damon in a Robin outfit standing right next to him. That would have been fucking hilarious.
Or they could have gone to a play.
Right?
Yeah.
And Matt Damon would have done
it.
Matt Damon's playing the part, right? Oh, my God. Too funny. Ariel's talking about Heath Ledger did such a great job as the Joker. He went that extra mile to kill himself. Oh,
I'm not a fan of that.
Ha 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 ha. No, he.
I don't care for that statement. There.
Yeah, well, hey, some people just like to.
That's poor
like
taste right there.
That's a joke. It's a joke. That's all it is. But Heath Ledger did a fantastic job. He was the first guy to win an Academy Award for a superhero movie, albeit posthumously, and he deserved it, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the Joker of the comic books. He's and this is the argument I had to get into. You remember our buddy Harry Simon Knock? He hated those friggin' Nolan movies. He's a complete comic book purist, and he could not stand anything about those Batman movies. And I was like, man, all they're trying to do is say, hey, look, if Batman was real, what would it look like? It would look something like this. That's what the Nolan friggin' series was about, And he didn't want to hear any of that shit. And I was like, well, man, and that's what I think the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, was a sign of the times when that was made, guys that, are behind the keyboard and just manipulate things, and they just want to see the world burn, man. You know what I'm saying?
The comics in the comics they had at that time, they had a more dark, vicious Joker. In fact, he had his face ripped off at one point, and he was running around with his face basically stapled on himself.
Yeah.
No. Let's see. Ariel says Aaron Eckhart, I thought, was an awesome Two-Face. Yeah, and that's one thing that I got in an argument with Harry. I was like, dude, that movie, The Dark Knight, is not even about either one of them. It's not about Batman. It's not about the Joker. It's about the struggle for fucking Harvey Dent's soul. That's what that whole fucking movie's about, And I thought Aaron Eckhart did a great job playing Two-Face.
That beginning scene with Heath Ledger, the bank heist.
The bank heist, yeah.
And they have that annoying sound going on, like something going on in the background.
Yeah,
like they had that like it that whole scene was just made because of that annoying sound that was going on while that was all going off. It was crazy. It set the tone.
Yeah, it did.
That whole movie.
It's a great movie. I would put it up there as one of the best superhero movies ever, and I'd put that trilogy up there as one of the best trilogies in movie history ever. I mean, I'd put it up there with the Star Wars trilogy and the Matrix trilogy, and hell, I don't think any of those can touch the Godfather trilogy. But when it comes to stuff in the sci-fi and the fiction realm, I really think that Nolan's Batman trilogy is one of the best.
I'm just saying, as far as Two-Face, we really lost out when we didn't get a Billy D. Williams Two-Face.
Yeah,
in Batman 3.
I think he would have done well at it, man. I think he would have done well at
good
it.
Too, man.
Yeah, he's a good actor, man. A lot of people, you know what's funny? My favorite movie with him in it is a movie called Nighthawks with him and Sylvester Stallone.
Yep.
You guys ever seen that?
Movie.
It's a fantastic flick.
Yeah, that's
it
awesome.
really is. If you've never seen that, watch that sometime. It's Billy D. Williams at his best. Well, at that, and anybody who's a football fan that's my age knows Brian's song, and he plays Walter Payton in it. And he's fantastic in that movie too. He's a really good actor. He really is. I mean, I know a lot of people's knowledge of him starts at Star Wars, but he was around way before that.
Yeah, he did a lot of other stuff besides Star Wars.
And as far as Joker, I hate to dip back in the animation well again, but we can't leave out Mark Hamill.
No, you can't. And I've heard the argument that he's the best, he's the best Joker. I mean, and his voice is awesome.
By the way, Billy D was Gale Sayers.
Oh, he was Gale Sayers.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And
Brian
I know that
Piccolo was his fullback. Yeah. Okay.
My dad was involved in a business deal with Gale Sayers at one point. So
really?
It was just like one meeting they had, but it involved the different businesses they were working at.
Hey, you got to meet the man.
Oh.
Gale Sayers, he was awesome. But yeah, Brian's song, dude. Oh, yeah. I may never watch that movie again. That movie ripped your guts out, man. Yeah, you got to be in the right mindset to watch that movie, man. Brian Piccolo, it was a form of cancer he died of, wasn't it? And man, it ripped your guts out. Rip your guts out. Just to put it in perspective, it would be like Moose Johnson dying of cancer and seeing how Emmett Smith, dealt with it and stuff like that. You know, pretty much. It's oof. But and James Caan's great in it. He that's another guy that's totally underrated.
People don't realize in the 70s how big he was. He was
James Caan? Oh yeah, he was in everything that came out.
And what was the other guy? He was in Airport. Whenever you saw him in a disaster movie, you know he was gonna die. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one? Because there's a lot of people.
It was he was almost in a lot of airport movies.
Maybe George Kennedy?
George Kennedy. If you saw George Kennedy in the movie, you know he was going to die or some shit was really going to happen.
Except the airport movies, because he's in every one of them.
Yeah.
He's the guy that knows everything about the plane in every one of those movies.
You knew some shit was going to happen if George Kennedy was going to in a movie.
Let's see. Ariel Ballet says, question, where would you place the 3 live-action Jokers? Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, and Heath Ledger. You're missing a few. You're missing one that won an Academy Award there, but I'll keep going with your thinking here. Like Caesar was considered the Golden Age comics, Nicholson was the Silver Age. I don't know. They've all got their own style, and I think they all reflect their time. Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix are definitely the nutbags of the bunch.
Yeah.
They're the want to see the world burn guys. And
Jack Nicholson.
Cesar Romero.
Jack Nicholson's just an iconic performance.
Yes, absolutely. That whole thing with the art gallery is great.
Yeah.
And the Prince music and everything.
It was Two-Face? Come on, we didn't even mention him.
What is it now? What'd you say?
Tommy Lee is Two-Face?
Tommy Lee is Two-Face. Well, I mean,
not that it was great, but I'm just
that's
saying. Like,
that's my wife's favorite.
He existed.
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
exist. He did exist.
Yeah, it
But,
was over the top, zany Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
Tommy Lee actually he actually went back to like Adam West era Two-Face kind of like and stuff. So
yeah, E. Clay Thomas says, I love you, Brian Piccolo. He must be a Chicago Bears fan. Die hard. It's got to be. Also, George Kennedy was awesome in the Naked Gun movies. Yeah.
yeah.
But, okay. So I think we've covered everybody in the Batman family. How about Superman? Who's your favorite Superman? And if anybody says anything besides Christopher Reeves, you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the standard. Come on, guys. He really is. I guess the question should be, who's the second best Superman out of the bunch?
I mean, I don't really have I was never really a Superman guy, so I really don't have. For me, it's just, I guess, Henry Cavill, because that's the only one I really know. I was never into Superman. He was never. I was more Batman than Superman.
Right.
So
and
I watched some of the cartoons when I grew up, but all the movies predate me for Superman, and the ones that came out, when I was older, sucked. So really, and so I didn't care for any of the Superman, except for I did watch the Henry Cavill ones, or Cavill, but however you say his last name, but So I don't really have one. I'll just say by default,
Henry Cavill,
because I like him in Witcher, so
Yeah. And I haven't watched Witcher yet. That's one on the list that I've got to get to. Of course, I've got the game down here and I've never touched it. So
the third one's a good one.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Oh, okay.
I asked the guys.
I didn't play the first two, so the third one was good.
That's what I hear. I asked the guys at the video game store. I said, "Do I need to get the other two to play this?" And they're like, "No." They give you a little rundown at the beginning.
You know me, Joe. You know me, Joe. I always play things from the beginning. So
yes,
or even watch movies. So, and I didn't even do it. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will go back.
That third DLC is practically a new game.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I ever finished the third DLC. I think by that time I was burnt out, so I didn't finish it.
It's huge. It's massive.
I think I discovered everything, but I didn't finish the missions.
What are you talking about? What game?
Witcher 3.
Witcher 3.
Yeah, I beat 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
Well, when it comes to Superman, this is my whole deal with Superman, and you guys know I'm a Marvel guy first and foremost. My whole knowledge of the DC universe is really from playing DC Universe Online. I mean, that's where I've learned most of it, and it's a good place to learn it because they do it all by the storylines of the comic books. But I've always rooted for Superman because he is the granddaddy of them all. If it wasn't for Superman, we wouldn't have Captain America and Spider-Man and Batman and all the rest of them. He was the first. He's the OG, So I always rooted for his movies to do well. Now I tried the comic books, and this was in the 70s when that book was really campy. Okay, man, it was really out of this world campy. It really was.
Now for us comic illiterate, what does campy mean?
Like Adam West's Batman compared to
for those of us that don't know Adam West Batman, what does that mean?
Yeah. Really? You've never seen it?
Kind of silly.
Never watched any of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Silly.
For example,
okay.
He had like a different power every week practically.
Yeah.
He would like one time he shot mini Supermen out of his hand.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Crazy shit.
So it's just very showy. Very showy, very over.
Very leaning almost towards comedic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Campy would be like when they put Herbie in the Fantastic Four. Like, it's the robot. It's
Jesus,
like
I hated her.
Or like Cousin Oliver in the Brady Bunch. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing here? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I've always the thing about Superman, like I said, he's the OG, and I want his stuff being successful makes everything else successful, in my opinion. But if I was going to like, for instance, I'm not a Green Lantern fan. I understand there's a lot of Green Lantern fans out there, but I'm not into that story. But I could try and get into the Superman story. The last time I tried to buy and read a Superman comic book. To John's point, I bought this one where the whole world figured out he was Clark Kent, and he super hypnotized the whole world to get out of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is silly. There's nothing this guy can't do. This is stupid. He's got no weaknesses, because if you've read the Marvel comics, all the Marvel comics, they've all got weaknesses. They've all got character defects. They've all, they purposely made these guys more human, with more human problems. I mean, Stan Lee's even said that's what he wanted his books to be. Guys with real world problems, Let's see. They've got a conversation going on over here. E. Clay Thomas said, it had its charm. Richard Pryor is what made the movie good, though. Oh, he must be talking about Superman 3. And Ariel says, I'm not sure. I thought he was just placed in the movies just so people would watch it. That Superman 3 movie, I thought it was dumb as shit when I first saw it. About the only thing I liked about it was the fight between Clark and Superman. I thought that was pretty cool, But yeah, it was kind of over the top. Have you watched the Christopher Reeve Superman movies?
I've probably seen bits and pieces here, but I haven't.
They lean more towards campiness than the Henry Cavill ones do. The Henry Cavill ones are more grounded, more realistic, kind of, I like Henry Cavill a lot. I think he's awesome. And I really think if Warner Brothers really wants to make money, they'll throw a boatload of cash at that guy and get him to play Superman again. I think they're dumb for not doing it.
That was the dumbest thing.
James Gunn says, no, I'm going to pass.
Yeah, and it's the stupidest thing. I do not envy the actor that has to follow him.
Yeah. I feel it's a shame that Tom Holland's, gonna have to step into those shoes.
I don't think they'll fit.
Dude, that's gonna be one massive pair of stilts he's gonna have to wear just to get tall enough to be that guy, man. Good Lord.
CGI, man.
CGI. Just put his face on a body. It'll work.
Exactly.
Jeez, man. Okay, so we've talked about Batman. We've talked about Superman.
Well, I didn't give my Superman.
Who's your Superman? Go.
Well, as much as I like Henry Cavill, I'm a big Henry Cavill fan.
Yeah.
And actually, I like George Reeves.
George Reeves, the black and white.
Good, man.
I grew up watching those on like Nick and stuff on the on reruns.
It's not bad. Yeah, I never watched them. Never what
the OG. The OG is Christopher.
Yeah,
Reeves.
Of course, we all know that.
Reeves
I was not kidding when you say anything but Christopher Reeves. You're wrong.
Yeah,
but, we're talking about second place here. Yeah, George Reeves. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, Matt, did you put in your 2 cents on this one?
Christopher Reeve 1, and I would guess Cavill 2. But like I was mentioning, Ben Affleck did play George Reeves in Hollywood Land.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
He did. God,
he's technically played Superman and Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Yep.
And
now,
Daredevil.
what happened to George Reeve? What happened to him?
He got shot.
It was mysterious, right?
Yeah,
he got killed.
He had a mysterious death,
it's unsolved. It's unsolved.
Yeah. That's what that whole movie was about, right?
Yeah, some people say he got shot. Some people say he got poisoned. Some people say other things. So, yeah.
But apparently he died untimely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently. Yeah. Let's see. It was it George Reeves' life that kind of went downhill? I'm not sure. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
I didn't really follow that whole story, but I do remember them making a movie about it with Affleck. I never saw it though.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Christopher Reeves. That's nothing you can do about it. That's just I'll never. If you remember when that movie came out, of course, the younger guys wouldn't remember this, but they put All they did for the movie poster was they had a Superman symbol in the clouds, and the tagline said, "You will believe a man can fly."
Dude,
and
the minute I saw that, I was so happy.
I was like, whoa,
dude,
man.
Yeah.
When
I was
we
like,
went
this
saw
movie's going to be
at the
fun.
theater, it was like, oh, you know. And the special effects have not stood up well over time. They really haven't. But as far as those movies goes, my favorite one is the second one with Zod and Non and them in it. I think that movie's fantastic. Yeah, Kneel Before Zod. That's
dude, that
guy.
movie is
What's
so
the actor's
awesome.
name? He's in the Star Wars saga
Terrence
too.
Stamp.
Terrence Stamp. He is
and
fantastic.
He's also in Star Wars, and he was in Doctor Who.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wall Street.
A ton of stuff. Yeah.
So he's basically going to be doing the Comic-Con circuit for the rest of his life, making all kinds
he
of
was
money.
in tons of really cool stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
There's certain franchises that you can just be, in one movie, and then you could just do that for the rest.
Retire,
of
right?
Yeah.
Just go
do
to
the con circuit, and you make make a living off that.
Ariel's getting on me. What'd she say? How dare you, Joe? Just because I'm the youngest doesn't mean I didn't watch the Christopher Reeves movies, which were awesome, except for 3 and 4. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean was when it first came out, they hadn't made, as far as I know, they hadn't done any Superman stuff for a couple of decades. I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the 50s when the George Reeves show was on?
Yeah.
And it had been a long time since anybody had done it. They had some Easter eggs in the first Superman movie too. Who was the couple that was on a train watching Clark run?
That was the original.
It was the original, I think. Lois Lane.
Original. No, it was the original Lois Lane and the original Superman, the one from before George Reeves.
Oh,
okay. All right. Yeah.
I know Lois was in there. The original Lois was in there, and some of the other casts from.
Yeah.
Was the original? I'm not familiar with that. Was it like some cereals or something? I would imagine.
The 40s.
Yeah. Dude, I used to listen to those on all the time when I was younger, because there was our radio station out here in Phoenix at night would play old time radio stuff like The Shadow and Superman and X-1 and all this really cool stuff. So
this guy's name is Kirk Allen.
Yeah. Kirk Allen.
Yeah, he was the first actor to play Superman. Hang on a second.
Because there were some Captain America serials back in the 40s, and that's what made me think about it.
There was even
this is him right here.
There was even a Batman one where he just drove a car and didn't do anything.
I actually have his serials.
Wow.
Yeah, I have these all on.
Does it still taste good? Or?
Yeah, it says 1948, shortly after World War II. Serial movie Superman. Yep. And the sequel, Atom Man versus Superman. Wow. That's crazy, man.
We skipped somebody for Batman too. I completely almost forgot.
The guy from that era, I'm sure.
Lewis Wilson.
With the long, pointy bat ears, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Have you got him pulled up or no?
There's one.
I've got his serial pulled up. I pulled it off my server.
Did you the black and white one, the Batman where he just rode this car, the basic car? It wasn't even a Batman.
All I remember about him is his ears are like all over the place.
Yeah.
They were like long and really pointy, and yeah, they were crazy. Yep.
Wow, he lived until he lived to be 80. He died in 2000.
Let's see. Shaka Zulu 12 says, I haven't seen 3 or 4, neither actually. I don't think my dad had it. Yeah, you're not missing anything.
Yeah, really. It just stick to 1 and 2. But
3, I'll give 3 this. It's got a hell of a cast. Robert Wagner's in there. Richard Pryor's in there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some good actors in that movie. But
4 is the one I just try to tell people don't even watch.
Do not ever watch The Quest for
4
Peace. You will
terrible.
feel your IQ drop as you watch that movie. I can't believe Gene Hackman. Of course, Gene Hackman said he never turned down an acting role ever.
Yeah.
So I can believe it after seeing The Quest for Peace. It is just straight horrible.
When I was in the movie
check the
theater,
ears on that Batman. Check it out.
Yeah. Wow. The ears were like huge, and if you go and look at some of the old shit, I don't remember.
So that's an action figure.
One time, and he would always go, "Oh, excuse me, I need to go take my vitamins or something." Then he would bounce off, and they would go and get in the car. And then there was one of the serials where it's Robin's Wild Ride, and it's just they talk about it was weird as fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Ariel's got a question. Who is the best Lex Luthor? Okay.
Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah.
Oh man, come on! No. You know better than that.
I think one of my favorites is the animated Luthor.
The animated
Superman
Luthor?
and animated series.
Okay.
That's one of my
played by Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown, huh?
Dude, he had Lex down to a T, just like Gene Hackman did. You know.
I wonder if that's the same guy that does the voice on the game. Because they used a lot of the animated actors on the game.
Dude, I love all the animated actors because they really exhume their characters.
Yeah. Well, you have to. You absolutely have to. If I had to pick one, I would say Gene Hackman, but I would give an honorable mention to Kevin Spacey in Superman Returns. I really think he was good at playing Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
I thought he was pretty good.
Michael Rosen, was it Michael Rosenbaum?
He was a terrible Lex, man. Oh my god! I was
he
like
said
in
he
the
was
theater.
good.
I was in the theater and I said, "What the fuck is this shit?" Like out loud, everybody was like, "Yeah, what the fuck is this, man?"
Well, but to me, it's not the actor's fault. If we're talking about Jeffrey Eisenberg, or Jesse Eisenberg, whatever fuck his name is, I don't think that's his fault. I think he played what the director asked him to play.
Yeah.
He came off more like the Joker than he did Lex. Because Lex is the smartest guy on the planet, and he will let you know he's the smartest guy on the planet.
I agree with what Ariel said. Michael Rosenbaum was a good Lex, too.
Who's Michael Rosenbaum?
He's the one from Smallville.
Yeah, he was a good Lex.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a good Lex.
I still don't think we have a proper Lex yet.
Yeah. I'll tell you another guy I really liked, and you're going to laugh at me, Ducky from Pretty in Pink, man.
There you go, Joe.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
John Cryer.
If you guys never watched Supergirl, he did a great job at being Lex Luthor. He really did.
He did a good Lex.
Yes, he was. He was really good. He was the smartest guy on the planet, and he let you know it. No doubt.
But then he kind of like he became pussified Lex towards the end.
Well, everything got pussified on that show by the end of it.
I was just like,
I was embarrassed to say I watched every episode of it.
Yeah, me too.
I still gotta finish it.
Yeah.
Joe, I was just towards the end. I was like struggling. I was like, bro, I can't take this anymore.
I can't take it anymore.
I was like, why am I?
Ariel thinks I'm the best Lex Luthor. No, I'm not the smartest guy on the planet, and I'm not.
Yeah, but I still love Clancy's Lex because he exudes just like animated Batman and animated Superman. They exhumed it. Yeah.
Well, if you're talking about crypto there, Clay Thomas, he asked, when will we get Superdog? We just got him. What was it, last year? Didn't that movie come out last year?
Yeah.
League of Super Pets.
Super Pets? I still haven't seen it yet.
And it was on Titans, too. We got Crypto and Titans, too.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Crypto was in Titans?
And we're getting Crypto in Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's in Superman. He's in what he's doing. He's taking the all-star Superman and making it Superman Legacy, basically.
Yeah. So. Ariel says, I think you guys may hate me for this, but I didn't care for the Supergirl series. A lot of people didn't.
Oh, dude.
And I have...
Get out. Get out now.
Right. Get out of here now. Right, Ariel? Yeah. But no, I have to say, being the Supergirl fan on this panel, I think they made a mistake not having her as a teenager at the beginning of it. They basically set her up like the female version of Clark Kent in this series from the beginning, and that's not what she is. In the comic books, Supergirl is actually sometimes more powerful than Superman because of her rage. And because unlike Superman, Earth is all Superman knows. He has no memories of Krypton. All he knows about Krypton, he was taught by his father in the Fortress of Solitude through data tapes and shit.
Yeah.
Kara Zor-El was a teenager when she left to protect him, right? When they got to Earth. And she remembers Krypton. And she's pissed off at the fact it's gone. That's one reason why I dug the version of her they had in the Flash movie. She was angry at these motherfuckers. She was pissed off at them, for what they did to her and shit. And she even says when she's talking to, the Flash in it, she had some good moments. She was sitting there saying, this is nothing like my planet, and it's gone and I can't go back to it, and she was pissed off about it. I thought it would have been a better show if they'd have started with her as a teenager, but
then later on they did bring everybody back, and that they put Lois and Clark up there with her, and that's how they had the kids. And
look, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that the whole CW stuff, and I haven't wrapped it up myself yet, but I just go back to it every once in a while. It's the kind of show that you go back to when you just want just nothing, just surface mainly, nothing that's super deep, just something that's kind of you don't have to put a lot of thought into it.
Check your brain.
Exactly. That's you just kind of watch it just to see something kind of silly. Kind of, I guess campy okay with this one. I think
I will say,
but
I
do it every once in a while.
Yeah,
I love the Superman and Lois show because it's more real. It's how Lois and Clark would be if they had a family.
Yeah,
it's really good.
And Jed's a big Superman fan, so
dude, I'm the biggest. And if I'm praising the show, what the fuck?
I've heard nothing but good stuff about it.
Yeah,
I'll get around to it one of these days.
It's a family show too. And then last season they had Superboy alternate from the 90s where he had his jacket back during the reign of Superman. He was from last season was crazy as shit.
Yeah.
Well,
to Knox's point, my wife's favorite one out of all the CW shows, you want to talk about checking your brain at the door, was what was it, Legends of Tomorrow? Was that the name of it? That was her favorite one, man. She loved that. It
used to be my favorite until they took it down that different path where everything had to be woke, everything had to be a fucking check mark.
Well, they did that with all the shows on the CW.
Yeah. Well, no, they haven't done that.
Damien Dark ruled that show.
Yes, he did. That was
Damien was freaking awesome.
That guy is awesome.
Yeah, he is fantastic. I've loved everything he's done. And I believe he started on Arrow. What didn't he? Didn't he start on Arrow as one of the bads on that show?
Yeah.
Damien Dark. Yeah, man. God, I miss Arrow, dude.
Oh, he was in Justified, which is coming soon. Can't wait for that. New Justified.
Okay.
Well,
the reboot.
I need to go.
Okay.
It's that time. So I'll see you guys later.
All right. Okay. You got anything you need to push, brother?
No. There is no. Brian's not doing a show in the morning, so the next time I'm on will be Friday.
Okay. Well, I'm going to fill him in on what you're doing Sunday. So.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll be there Sunday. I'm just not going to be on there Saturday because I'll be out of town. So.
Gotcha.
So everybody have a good night, and I will see you later.
All right. Take care, brother.
Good night, John.
Take care.
Hope she wins.
Right? I hope she wins too. Yeah. I got a soft spot for girls that play softball, man, because I dated the catcher of our high school softball team for 3 years.
You got a soft spot for those that
softball
play softball
girls. Yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah, when you did the catcher, what's his name? Yeah.
But CW shows, definitely check your brain at the door. But I've heard nothing but good stuff about Superman and Lois, and that's
I've watched the first. I think I'm into the second season at this point because I stopped because I watch every show in chronological order when they came out they're episode wise.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm always going back and forth between the different shows for each week because they usually did like their Tuesday, Thursday, Friday night showing or whatever of each one.
It's Tuesday or Wednesday when they usually have. Because I watch it. I just watch it on the replay.
I never watch them live. I watch them when the whole season.
I don't watch them live either. But E-Clay is right. Superman looks great if you're a comic fan because I freaked out last season. I was like, "Holy shit! They have Superboy from the '90s." Holy shit, they have this. Holy shit, they have. I was pointing out all the Easter eggs to my friends, and my friends were like, that's cool. I was like, dude, they actually put shit from the comic in the show. This is awesome.
Yeah. Well, they did that with Supergirl. The only thing is, they were just bad versions of them.
They were.
Tio Morrow, they killed him off right away with the Red Tornado story. They're in the first season. Like, why are you killing off Tio Morrow? That makes
I was like, when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, they're gonna, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I really like the Sam Witwer story arc.
Yes. Now that storyline, you want to talk about? See, that's where it started to go down the road.
Yes, it was.
Because that was definitely a statement on the president's stance on illegal aliens and all that stuff,
and then you find out the president is an illegal alien herself.
It was definitely a statement on that. No doubt about it.
I was like, wait a second.
They weren't even sugarcoating it, man.
I was just like, they just said, fuck you guys.
But Sam Witwer is, those of us that play video games and watch this kind of stuff, that's another guy that's going to be living on the Comic-Con circuit the rest of his life, all the stuff he's done,
Dude, he's done Star Wars, Superman, Supergirl.
He was in Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. So he's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, he is great.
He's in one of my favorite shows that I don't think gets enough credit, which is Being Human, and it's one of my favorite roles.
Being Human. Yeah. I got to finish that game, man. I got to finish that game.
No. It's not the game. You're talking about Becoming Human.
Okay.
Human. I'm talking about Being Human. It's a TV show.
Oh, okay.
He plays a vampire. He's basically a vampire, a werewolf, and a ghost live in the same house. Like it sounds like a punchline, but that's literally the what the story or what the show's about.
Yeah.
Wow. Ironcaster's here. Hey man, what's going on? I was at work, so I wasn't
because I was
going to be able to stream it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like when he's at work, we can't do Archivist, so sometimes when he does get home and stuff, we can do Archivist stuff.
I love Ironcaster, man. He's
family to me.
He was on one of the first comic book streams I did. Okay, so we've covered Superman, we covered Batman. Best Spider-Man.
Toby.
Toby? Okay.
Peter
Toby's
Parker.
the GOAT, right? That's
Peter Parker.
That's what they say.
Fuck Miles Morales.
Oh, man. I said Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Okay?
Yeah.
Hank Pym is Ant-Man. Yeah.
Hank Pym is Ant-Man, not this fool they got in the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Let's see. I tell you, yeah, Toby's the best. Of course he is.
I
thought one of the best, because I went back because I never actually watched The Amazing Spider-Man with what's his name, and
Garfield.
Garfield. And when I went back, because I literally watched it because of the third, the No Way Home.
Right, No Way Home.
I went back and watched the Amazing Spider. I never went to because I was like, oh, he only has 2 movies. He must not have been that great. Mm-hmm. Holy crap! I was fully invested in those 2 movies. He was so good, and I like when movies do what they need to do to explain the story, and the death of Gwen Stacy. And how brutal it was.
Oh, that was brutal as hell, bro.
And then you saw that pain. Like, God, you're so good at portraying pain. Because you saw when he saved, Zendaya.
You even hear her bones crack when she comes down, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But the way they did that redemption story in No Way Home for him, when he's like, not again. Not again.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
It took it to a whole nother level for me. It was great.
All 3 of the Spider-Man guys did good in that movie, but that scene where he saves friggin' MJ in No Way Home from falling to her death, if you haven't seen the second Amazing Spider-Man movie, where Gwen Stacy dies, it doesn't have the same impact to you, man.
Right.
I mean, it just doesn't, And this is the thing about those two movies, Knock. When they made the original one with Tobey, in my opinion, the best one is the second one with Doc Ock. That is the best Spider-Man movie overall that they've made.
It's sort of his low point. Spider-Man's low point,
Mm-hmm.
And but I'd say Tobey Maguire's my favorite. But go ahead.
Yeah. But the thing is, when those movies came out, they made MJ, and I can only figure they did this because she's the most popular girl, out in the Spider-Man lore, the redhead, and everything, and she's a supermodel and all that. They started with her. Gwen Stacy in the books. The thing I dug about the Amazing Spider-Man movies was, I always told people, if you take the first Amazing Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield and you insert the part where Tobey Maguire wrestles Macho Man, right? And then his uncle gets shot and he chases down the robber and the guy falls out of the window and the cops are after him because of it, because they think he shoved him out the window, right? If they took that and they inserted it into the first Andrew Garfield movie as how Uncle Ben died and everything, you would have the perfect Spider-Man movie. That would be the perfect Spider-Man movie, because that scene where the guy doesn't pay him and he lets the robber just get on the elevator and just steps out of the way, that is ripped right out of the pages of Amazing Spider-Man 15. It looks just like the panels of the comic book.
Well, and I'll say, I think Tobey's the best Peter Parker. I think Garfield, you could argue, is the best Spider-Man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because with the mask on, he portrays it really well. He really
also
does.
I think it's interesting that in the third Maguire movie, you have Kirsten Dunst, who is a blonde, playing a redhead, and you've got Bryce Dallas Howard, who's a redhead, playing a blonde.
I
know. I giggled when I saw that. I was like, hey, this is going to be
fun.
fun.
For the comic book nerd that has read Spider-Man his whole life, I really enjoy watching the Garfield ones, because the death of Captain Stacy is a huge thing in the Spider-Man lore. It's the first big event that happens to him, because he is dating his daughter, so he's got some feelings for this guy, and her death in the second one. Now, the second movie is one of the worst Spider-Man movies ever made. It's the Green Goblin is horrible in it. My man Jamie Foxx, is a whole lot better in No Way Home than that stupid shit they made him in the original one. Just horrible. But I enjoy both of those movies because they really portrayed the death of the Stacys really well. They did it perfectly, and you're never going to get a perfect movie. I mean, guys that are, I'm sure Jed could tell you 50 things wrong with the original Superman movie with Christopher Reeves. What's wrong with that movie? I could tell you everything. I hate the fact that Toby doesn't have fucking web shooters, that it comes organically out of his arms. I hate that. I can't stand that.
I hated that shit.
Yeah,
I was like, no, he has web shooters.
Because you're supposed to show how smart this guy is. I mean, when you look at the big brains in the Marvel universe, I mean, Reed Richards has been known to tap Spider-Man when he can't figure something out. To help him.
In No Way Home, doesn't Toby just say, it just comes out.
Right, it just comes.
Yeah.
Is it just your hands? Does it come out other places?
Yeah, I think they were alluding to something else. Yes.
But that No Way Home movie, it had so many great things, and I know I'm going way off on Spider-Man because we mentioned him, but so many Easter eggs.
Mentioned him. We didn't mention him.
Well, I'm always going to mention Spider-Man. He's my guy. But my favorite Easter egg of that whole fucking show was Andrew Garfield standing there in a Spider-Man outfit with a lab coat on. I can't tell you how many times you see that in the comic books when he's trying to figure something out.
Yeah, because he has the lab coat on and he's like trying to do his web fluid and everything else. Yeah.
And it was so great to see. I was like,
yeah, that was ripped right out of the comics.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was crazy.
I do want to address something in the chat. Eclay mentions that Nicholas Hammond is the best Spider-Man. In the I learned this like 2 days ago. In the mid 80s, Bill Bixby wanted to do a Incredible Hulk Spider-Man series with Nicholas Hammond.
And he also wanted to have Thor in there too, Matt.
Well, they did. They did. They did a TV movie that I think it was The Trial of the Incredible Hulk that had the Thor in it. Yeah, it had Thor in it.
Also, Adventures in Babysitting had Thor, but yeah.
Yes, he did. He was there. Yeah, he was running the friggin' tow truck. Hell yeah, he was.
Yeah, again with the chat, Ariel put a question in earlier, and I think we've talked about this before after we reviewed the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. She said, how many times do we need to see a family member die in the movies? And I got to tell you, that was becoming a huge pet peeve of mine, or a peeve of mine, to see, how many times do we need to see the Clarks or the Waynes, die? How many possible combinations can they find of ways to kill them? Like it was like 100 ways to die with
right.
How many times we got to see Uncle Ben die?
It's like we get it, like we understand that. So that's what I liked about the Robert Pattinson one. Is like they didn't do that. I don't think they did. I think they just started.
Started the movie. There
so
it was.
It's like good, thank God.
So what you're saying, Knock, is you're an actor, you're looking for work, and your agent calls and says, "Hey, good news. They want to cast you as Thomas Wayne." You're like, well, I guess I'll be on set for 3 days, and then that'll be it.
Yeah. Well, getting back to the Flash movie, let me tell you, that's when I say they didn't go the whole 9 yards. I really would have liked to have seen what storyline is it where Batman kills all the superheroes and steals their powers. And he starts with the Flash, doesn't he? Becomes the Red Death. Jed?
Yeah, I think. There's also one where Barry goes and hits an alternate dimension and meets Thomas Wayne, but he doesn't die. And then, and that was in the comics from like maybe 5-10 years ago. I don't remember.
I think the Flashpoint Thomas Wayne actually becomes Batman because his wife and his son are murdered, and he's a fucking murderer.
Yeah,
he's a damn assassin.
Dude,
he's the one in the game, Knock, that has the dual pistols. From the Flashpoint DLC. Yeah, he's a straight up murderer. Thomas Wayne as Batman is a straight up fucking murderer. He just murders bad guys because his son and his wife were killed. I think that was part of the Flashpoint storyline, wasn't it? I mean,
I think it was the lead up to it, or something, because I have the comics in my boxes back there. So
now that
basically Punisher.
Yeah, basically he's the Punisher. Yeah, he's the Punisher Batman. Yes, exactly.
Because I thought it was, and then they added in the Watchmen thing, and you like with the Watchmen tied in with it too. So
Ariel asks, how is Batman able to kill the Flash?
He knew how to kill them all.
He knows how to kill them all. Once again, I told you this last night when you were trolling us. Read Tower of Babel. You'll understand how Batman could kill them all.
They show it in the cartoons as well.
Batman is
kryptonite for Superman. He knows it. Because he searches this stuff up.
And Clark even said to Bruce, "If I ever go on a rampage, or if I ever get taken over, kill me."
Yeah,
he said that in the comics to Bruce.
Yeah.
Because he knew Bruce knew how to kill him.
Yep.
He has this kryptonite that he uses.
Ariel had a good question earlier too. She was asking who's the best Alfred or J. Jonah Jameson.
There's only one J. Jonah Jameson. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's only one.
J.K. Simmons.
J.K.
Simmons
was born to play that part.
He transcends.
Yes. Right? He's in every version of Spider-Man. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, he just used to be in every single one that ever existed.
That last time, that No Way Home portrayal of him is like an Alex Jones character selling supplements during the fucking commercial breaks and shit. That was awesome.
And like the guy that played him in the Nicholas Hammond TV show was calm. And I'm like, you can't be a calm J. Jonah Jameson.
No, he is.
No, Jonah is just not calm, man.
Is it even him in the video game too? I'm trying to think.
I'm not sure.
Well,
I never finished the video game.
Or the latest one, I should say. The latest Spider-Man. I'm trying to remember if he's in that one. I can't remember.
No Way Home?
No. The video game.
Oh, okay.
The video game. The latest, the most recent Spider-Man game.
Well, I would loved it when they brought him back and he was doing it online and stuff in the new movies. So, and you know, so
it's great. It's great.
I was like, Parker, and I was like, holy shit, they brought him back.
Yes. Yes, of course they did. J.K. Simmons is the only one. Now, as far as Alfred goes, man, I don't know if I can give a straight answer for that because I haven't. Has anybody watched that Pennyworth show? Do you know
what?
The TV series called Pennyworth? Did anybody watch that?
It wasn't all that great.
Wasn't all that great? Okay.
I watched 1 or 2 episodes and I ducked out.
They made a series called Pennyworth about Alfred around the time of World War II, the end of World War II. And I think it was a spy story, wasn't it? Something like that?
Yeah, it just wasn't that. It's Alfred has a past, but the things we want to see is him with Bruce. Yeah. That's I don't want he talks about his past throughout the whole comics. I was like, oh, that's cool, but I don't really want to see a show about it. No.
What she's saying, Joe and Stream, didn't Batman also say at one point, if he goes evil, that he would rely on the Justice League to stop him? Yeah, I don't really know. Like I said, I don't know.
And there's the thing. Bruce did say if I did ever go evil, he asked Diana and Clark to take care of him because they knew they together could do it.
Well, when it comes to Alfred, I really liked Jeremy Irons. Say what you want. I really liked him. You know,
I'd probably go Michael Caine would be my favorite.
That's what I was going to say is Michael Caine.
Yeah.
By the way,
is it because of Michael Caine or is it because those are your favorite Batman movies?
It's both.
Yeah.
But I do like Michael Caine. I liked him in the other one was and he was in another Christian Bale movie, was it? Or was that the Edward Norton one? The Prestige?
Yep.
Or was it the Illusionist?
Nolan uses Michael Caine all the damn time.
Yeah. But the Prestige is one of my favorite movies too.
Oh, the Prestige is great.
Yeah, it's a fantastic flick. Yep.
You got a young ScarJo in it, I think, if I remember correctly.
Is she in that movie?
I think she was the female actress in that.
Was she? Huh. I have to go back and watch that again because I'm a big fan.
Yeah, right. It's been a few years for me. And The Illusionist was pretty good too with Edward Norton.
Yep. Yeah.
But by the way, if you want to say Michael Caine and sound the way he would sound, saying his own name,
Michael Caine.
You say my cocaine.
Michael Caine. That's it. So. Michael Caine.
I forgot. Yeah, Hugh Jackman was in that one too. I forgot about that. He was the guy trying to figure out the secret. Yeah. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, cool. All right, I'll have to watch that movie again because I'm a big fan of the Johansson, no doubt. Michael Caine wasn't really the best as Alfred, but the actor that did the 4 movies with Michael Keaton and the other 2. I don't even know that actor's name, but he was good. I do like the Alfred that's in the '89 Batman movie and that series of movies. He did really well, But Michael Caine, I don't know that you can pick one out of all of them because I mean, Jeremy Irons is good too. Yeah, his whole thing trying to stop Batman from doing what he was doing, he was his conscience in that whole fucking show in Batman versus Superman. So I think they're all good, but if I had to pick one out of all of them, I'd just say Jeremy Irons because I love the actor and I'll watch anything with the guy in it. I think he's great. So, ever since I saw, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, I think they just made a series on one of the streaming services with a female version of this, but it's a movie called Dead Ringers from back in the day. That movie is a mind bender, and Jeremy Irons was nominated for an Academy Award for that because he plays twin brothers who are gynecologists, and it's all about drug addiction and what it does to you. And you can tell the difference between the playboy brother and the timid brother at the beginning of the show. And by the end of the show, they both act the same because they're both addicted to drugs. And it's really a fantastic portrayal. If you've ever seen,
I saw that a long time ago.
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie, but it's not like it. I mean, if you're a horror fan, it's a David Cronenberg movie, you know, Scanners, the Exploding Head movie and all that. He makes great movies, but this one is like a psychological thriller type thing that's kind of strange. And, you know, he has a thing for body horror. If you've seen his version of The Fly, you know, he loves body horror. Yeah, Videodrome and all that.
You know, with Jeremy Irons, he's done several movies where you don't walk out of watching it, you know, clicking your heels and
no, his movies are deep. Go dark. A lot of them, yeah. I think he wasn't. Didn't he win his Academy Award for playing that Baron that got killed by his wife or something like that? I can't remember that. Something Fortune. I can't remember the name of it, but it was it was a true story about a guy that got killed by his wife, I think, or he killed his wife, something like that. I can't remember. But anyway,
you were talking about the druggy stuff there, Joe. It just reminded me of the Machinist with Christian Bale.
Oh my God!
And it's crazy.
I've never watched that movie because I've seen pictures of him in it, and they scare the shit out of me.
And the crazy thing, no. And the crazy thing is that came out a year before Batman Begins.
That's crazy.
So not only did he do that and you know went through all that with his body, he had to turn around and within a year go to complete bulk for Batman.
That's crazy. That's crazy to do something like that to your body. And he's not the first guy to do it. Ariel says it's Michael Gough as Alfred in '89, and he's really good. He's really good. I couldn't pick one out of all those guys because they're all good at what they do.
Joe, I looked it up, and Jeremy Irons won the Oscar for Best Actor in 1991 for his performance as Klaus von Bülow in the 1990 film Reversal of Fortune.
Reversal of Fortune. That's it. I think Glenn Close plays his wife in it, and I can't remember. One of them murders the other one and gets away with it. It's something like that. I can't remember exactly how it went, but it was a true story. Klaus von Bülow is a real guy. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of that, Knock, The Machinist, you've watched that movie?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's genius in it because you can say what you want about Bale. He's a great fucking actor. The guy's fantastic.
When he plays Marky Mark's brother in that, whatever that boxing movie was.
Warriors? Is that the name of it? Warriors?
The Fighter. That was with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's fantastic. But, you know, he's not the first guy to do that. I just showed the clients one Saturday night. I showed them. We had a guy leaving that loved war movies, and I put on Courage Under Fire. And if you've never seen that movie, Matt Damon did the same fucking thing. He friggin' dropped a bunch of fucking weight to make it look like he was drug addicted. You know, he was shooting up heroin between his toes, right? After the war. Yeah. And it was so fucked up because what it was is they filmed the stuff. He took the time to lose the weight. Apparently it's easier to gain the weight back than it is to lose it. And he lost the weight first for the parts of the movie where he was the drug addict. And then he put the weight back on to play the soldier in the field, you know, that was pretty much his regular size. And I was like, God, that I mean, McConaughey, to your point, Matt, did it for his Academy Award winning performance, man. I think it was called the Dallas Buyers Club, right? And that was a true story. And those guys, I can't imagine doing that, man. That's just, I couldn't imagine losing that kind of weight just for a fucking part in a movie. Just make me up or something. Put some makeup on my cheeks, make me look hollow or something. Yeah. CGI or something.
Yeah, they weren't too much into CGI quite yet. So they
weren't.
Don't do the Flash CGI.
Yeah. Let's see. Joe, I believe that in Flashpoint, as Thomas Wayne becomes Batman, Bruce dies and Martha loses her mind and becomes the universe's Joker. That's right. That's exactly what happens. You're absolutely correct. I do remember that. Yeah. Martha Wayne becomes the Joker. Yeah.
Yeah. Martha, why did you say that name?
Why did you say that name? Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Look, I like those movies, but yeah, they've got some stupid shit in there, no doubt. It's oh God, that and when Lois takes the fucking spear and throws it down the fucking well, both of those parts just piss me off. I'm like, God, how stupid can you be? What are you doing? Let's see. Ariel says, knock, Matt, do the two of you have a YouTube channel so I can support you too? And
no,
they don't.
I do not really. No.
But Matt, you can follow him on Twitter. He's on Twitter. So
and
I'm
then
on Twitter, but I don't.
Yeah,
use
you
it
see
for,
Matt showing up in a chat that he met her, or if
he likes to hang out with me and a guy that runs a channel called Whatever Cast.
Yeah,
Mr. Wes. Yeah,
he's got a new logo. Wes does.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
He wants me to do some work on the thing he's doing too. So
cool.
Yeah.
By
the way,
all right, boys and girls.
I'm not creative enough to do a show.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you do just fine. Don't let him undersell himself. He pretty much runs our friggin' football pregame show that we do. So don't let him sell you. He can do it. It's got to be something he's passionate about.
But by the way, I know it's off topic. So just real quick though, it got me thinking about it. I heard YouTube change their monetization rules.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Do you want the link for the page? Because I have it right here in my shit.
To where it's something like you can have fewer subscribers and fewer watch hours.
500. It used to be 1,000 you needed, right?
Okay, I got.
Now you only need 500.
Here.
Just put it up to share, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Ariel really wants you to answer this question.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what you got? Wait, Joe, ask about this last question I just asked. To all 4 streamers, do you think WB's? Excuse me, hang on a second.
Do you think WB should allow the DC animated universe to be shown in theaters and have seen Young Justice as well as Brightburn? Haven't seen any of that, and I don't really watch the DC animated universe stuff.
I don't either.
I wouldn't care if it did come to theaters. So
do I think it'd be a good idea? Yeah, I always think it's a good idea to put anything in a theater and give somebody an opportunity to see it on a big screen.
And they usually do stuff like that on the early hours of theaters. They usually do a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, but would it make money? I don't think so. Yeah, 500 subscribers, 3 public uploads in the last 90 days, which is nothing. Good Lord. And 3,000 watch hours or 3 million short views in 90 days.
Okay, and so there is also this part right here. The current YouTube partner program is only to unlock regular video monetization and stuff. However, these new requirements only unlock channel membership, super chats, and super thanks.
Right. You don't get ad revenue.
No, it's so the reason why they're doing this is because Rumble and Kick are on their heels right now.
Yep.
Competition.
That's exactly it.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they want to get 30% of all the super chats and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Rumble and Kick are on their heels. That's the reason why they're panicking.
Yep. She says, with how much the DCEU movies cost to make, I'm sure they would at least make their money back.
It's a tough sell.
It's a tough sell. You're not going to get as many people to go see something animated. You're just not.
You got to pay the theaters.
Yeah.
To play the movies in the theaters. So you're not getting 100% profit by putting.
Yeah, the theaters take their cut. The whoever made it takes their cut, and then Wow.
All right, boys and girls. The we'll put a pin in the multiverse for now. I was going to bring up a picture of a girl I really wanted to see play Wonder Woman at one point, Adriana Palicki.
Dude, I wanted her to play Wonder Woman too.
She's on the Orville now, so we missed out on that Wonder Woman, but I think she would have been tough. But let's get back to the top 100 video games. Let's get back to talking about that and see what's up with it.
By the way, what you just showed, Adrian Palicki could have been a good Lara Croft too.
Yes, she could have. Yeah, Adrian Palicki.
Oh, Joe,
she's a babe.
Something that you might be interested in right now.
I'm sorry, guys. I got a frog.
Is it the list of 100 video games? Because otherwise, no.
We left.
We have 15 minutes, Jed. Don't take away my.
Hang on, we got a couple of things to do here when it comes to video games. Let me go ahead and pull that down. And we'll put this up. Microsoft is hiking the price of Xbox Series X and Xbox Game Pass. Oh, well, I'm sorry.
It just came out today.
I mean, it's $15 for Game Pass, and I believe it's 100% worth it. I think.
Oh, dude, I have Game Pass.
You can use it both on your computer and on your Xbox.
Your Xbox.
And it's just, I could do it on my phone. Like it's insane. I don't know. I'm. It sucks to pay more for anything.
Yeah, well, you're only paying like $1.
HBO
more.
Max still costs more, so
Yeah. So okay,
and I do have to right a wrong from next week. Thank you for that report, Big Daddy. I know you're a big Xbox man. You'd be on top of that. I do have to right a wrong from last week. Knock wanted me to show something from the video game realm, and I didn't get around to it last week. So we are going to watch as soon as I can put this together real quick.
No comments. Let's play.
Yeah, right. We're gonna watch it. We know how you feel about
Outlaws
it.
We know how you feel. Yeah, we know how you feel.
We know how you feel about it. We know how you feel about it. But I haven't seen it myself, so I want to check this out. It's a new open world Star Wars game. Let me pull up. Oh, I'm pulling up the wrong things, or am I? Hang on. I got to
be bad. I'm going to be playing Starfield when it comes out.
Yeah,
Starfield. From what I hear, it looks pretty cool, man.
I'm taking that week off.
Starfield. It's just fuck, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be all up in that.
I'm gonna be like.
It's literally the reason why I got an Xbox Series S.
I'm gonna dive into that. Yeah.
So you've got a Series S too, man?
No, I got to get one. So
I was talking to Knock there. Yeah, I was talking to Knock. I know you don't.
I've had one as soon as I saw that it was going to be exclusive to Xbox, at least for now, I got a Series S. Plus, they were all over the place. I was like, oh, let me try to get one, and I happened to get it. So it was the only console I can get.
Here we go. Let me unmute and go ahead and throw that up. Let's take a look at the new Star Wars. Hang on, I got to do one thing here. Let's put it at 125. Okay, here we go.
These are dangerous times. At least that's what I hear. The Empire? They're everywhere.
Whoa!
But the world here belongs to...
Whoa, wait a minute. That's Han. What's the timeline here? Where's it? It's obviously...
I don't know if that's
Empire Strikes Back.
It's...
it could be just a guy in Kryptonite. Yeah.
Could be.
That was Han. They confirmed it.
Wow.
I got confirmation. Yeah.
Wow.
That was Han and Java. It's set during Jedi period. So
that'd be after Jedi.
But that sure looks like okay.
If I want to survive, I have to play their game. Looks like I'm all in.
Oh boy.
She's in here somewhere.
On second thought, I'm out.
Oh!
There she is.
I've been held back my whole life.
Oh boy.
No. I just need a chance to finally be free. Wherever that takes me.
With your square ass shit that looks like the...
Get off
Shush
my
up.
shit, Jalen.
Give me a chance. You're gonna have to trust me. It'll be dangerous, risky. But if you pull this off, you'll never look over your shoulder again.
The underworld shows no mercy. It's a big galaxy out there, and I'm gonna risk it all.
Star Wars Outlaws, coming 2024.
You need to watch the gameplay walkthrough to actually get some... Yeah.
We'll see.
Here we go.
Check it out. She-Hulk. She's working.
I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for that.
There was
my
like,
wallpaper. I take pictures, and each monitor changes from time to time. That's what's on.
Yeah,
that's
there's
what's
some
on the
deception in
background.
that trailer. If you actually
Well, it's all
go watch,
cinematics. First of all, it's all
Yeah.
cinematics. So
yeah,
Well,
if you
trailers
go
are always
watch,
deception. I
deceptive.
thought you were going to say that She-Hulk's butt was not that big, and I was going to be upset about that.
oh man, but yeah, I had to write that wrong. I don't know. I'll have to see the gameplay, and there is a gameplay
yeah, there
playthrough
is.
that you can watch.
And
I'm gonna have to
I
check that
came
out.
up with all these questions, and I was like, "Hey, what? Wait a second. If the Empire, no, the Empire would be right. No, shut the fuck up on that, man. Just get the fuck out of here."
Well,
I gotta tell you, there's no sound like a TIE fighter.
Yeah. But the
You
part
just-
I'm
sure.
talking about,
You hear that sound, you know you're dealing with Star Wars. Like,
yeah,
it's so
she
good.
fucking burns her contact, okay, and then burns herself with the Empire and thinks she did, and then she just walks out and they don't come after bullshit, and you have this wanted bullshit on the screen. I'm like, okay, no.
Have you played Grand Theft Auto? You just have to change the color of your car.
Oh, I know.
Right?
It's just, I
Come
was
on,
just
we
like,
have to put
ugh.
some pretense of realism away when we're playing certain games.
I was just
okay?
like, okay, the Empire would be on her ass like right on rice.
Wookie B Bad says Game Pass has a lot of trash games, but
it
but
does.
triple a title free on day one.
AAA. Yeah, well,
AAA
I've been
for
playing something from another game recently. There are some good games, but there are a lot of just crappy games on there. There are good games.
The only reason why I don't get the Game Pass now that I have an Xbox is because I don't have time to play.
Yeah.
I've got too many irons in the fire. I just don't have time to play.
Yeah, I don't generally have a lot of time to play it either. But
at night is when I play.
It's definitely one expense I could cut off and not lose it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's get back to our list. Let's see where we're at on that list. We are at, let's see, we've got 10 minutes left. Let's see how far we can get. We've got System Shock 2. Never played this game. Don't even know what it's about.
I've heard about it. I've heard good things about it, but I never played it myself.
I played both of them. They just came out with the remake to System Shock.
What's it about, Jed?
It's a real classic.
It's you're just sort of like Cyberpunk.
Okay.
Basically, but more better. It's not broke as fuck, you know.
They had, well, from what I hear, Cyberpunk isn't broke as fuck anymore.
Cyberpunk is one of the, oh my god, that game is so fun and so infuriating at the same time.
I booted it up the other night just to see what they did. They still have the gun stuck on the ground problem. It's been years. There are still bugs that I went to go find on purpose. They're still in the game.
Well, I almost bought it.
I still got a video of. I think it's a great game to play. By the way,
it's fun. I just wish they would fix shit.
But I have a video still on one of my PlayStations or I have my car is trying because you can call your car to you, and mine's like going in a circle inside of a building.
You showed me that one. Yeah.
In and out of a building. Yeah, I sent that one to you like years ago. Yeah. And it's just, and then right after that, it got stuck in the ground. So I could see like the very, front of the car, but it was like trying to get above the ground. And then it fell into like the ether, and it was funny.
There was one part where I got the bike to come up, and the bike flipped and did a flip and just went off into the sky.
Now there's Jed's wheelhouse right there. Number 82.
Dude.
Mortal Kombat 11. Now that's the newest version, right?
Yeah.
The newest version.
I played it for the last time I really played Mortal Kombat was when I had it. It was like one of my first video games for Sega Genesis.
Yeah. They had the blood on there. Nintendo didn't.
Fatality, finish him.
Fatality.
You only had the fatalities and stuff on Sega. So.
Yep. But Mortal Kombat, I like their DC version.
I'm actually okay with this.
I couldn't get
right
into
here.
it.
I'm okay with this being right here. So
you didn't like Injustice, no?
No, I couldn't get into it at all.
Wow.
It was too much combo bullshit.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Now my daughter loves this game right here.
I love this.
Persona 5 Royal.
I can't get into those types of games. They're just so weird.
I love this
weird
too.
for me.
Yeah,
they're absolutely weird. This is
the anime games can be strange. They really can. But I think her two favorite video games are this one and Catherine. She loves
Catherine is freaking awesome. Okay, Catherine, it's just the puzzles that fuck it up for everybody.
Anything that has overflows with style and flair, like that's nothing I'm ever going to want to play.
They came out with an update where they give you all the DLC and everything in Persona 5, and I was just like, oh yeah. So
number 80, Dark Souls. I've never played this game.
Wow.
Dark Souls should be up higher. It shouldn't be at 80.
That is actually pretty surprising. Dark Souls
it should be up higher.
It's a very iconic game because of how.
Knock, give me a rundown. What's this about?
So Dark Souls is basically, I don't know, there's not really a story to them. It's like, it's Elden Rings. It's the beginning of Elden Rings. Yeah. So basically you're put on a path and you're basically just like, here, go over there and not die. And facing these ridiculous bosses, and you're dying a lot. You can find animations all over the place where they're really funny. And
it's one of those games where you have to, through trial and error, find out how to beat your enemies.
And you need to. You're trying. The other part of it is trying to find the story. That's the other part of it.
Okay.
There's like almost no lore or anything. There's no directions. They're like, go the way of the fire, and you'll see like a fire like far away, and you just like try to get to it, or some BS directions that one guy. This is the kind of game that it became so big because it didn't hold your hand. There was no hand holding whatsoever.
Yeah, Jed tells me the same thing about Knights of the Old Republic. They're not going to hold your hand on it. Yeah,
you got to figure the shit out by yourself sometimes.
I hear it. All right, let's see. Number 7, 79 is Fortnite.
Bullshit.
It's that low?
Wow, that should be up like near 100 or something. I don't,
Hate it or love it, it did change gaming. And
I'm telling you.
What's funny is that it didn't even start out as a battle royale. It started out as a zombie survival.
Really?
Game. You actually had to build. It was a battle defense zombie game.
Save the world, defenses basically.
Up, and it was actually a game that you had to buy it. You had to purchase it, and
I
I did. I think I did too.
I did. I was my dumb ass bought it.
But no, and that game is completely forgotten. By the way,
recently they actually took in parts of it out in this last update because I do.
So now, and then they came out because they saw what PUBG was doing.
Yeah,
and PUBG was kind of more like bringing that battle royale. There's a circle and everything, and it led to Fortnite, it led to Apex, it led to COD, Warzone. It just opened up everything. And then with Fortnite, the special thing about that was that it was not only the cartoon look of it, so kids loved it, and then you can also build in it. That was the other thing. And now you got kids that can I was watching them today. In fact, we did the organization with the family day today at the base, and we had our PlayStations there. I had mine there too. I had Fortnite for them, and there was kids that they can make a whole freaking building in like less than a second.
So how does Fortnite make money? Is it like that? Like
it's microtransactions. I can tell you that.
It's $20 for like the package, and they come out with them like every week.
Yeah, they've got.
They'll do they did Dragon Ball. They do not right now. They're doing Star Wars.
Dude,
you pretty much play as whatever you want, man. You can run around as Darth Vader and fuck people up with a light.
I run around as Snake Eyes, Superman, and all this other.
Huge Luke. It's a free game. Anyone can.
I have all that shit in my Fortnite game.
Fortnite bombed when they did the PUBG thing. Yep. Okay. Love them or hate them, they definitely changed gaming. Yeah. They really did with that game right there.
Okay,
here we go. Fable 2. Now we're getting to my wheelhouse right here, man.
Bullshit. That and
it should be a lot higher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Be a lot fucking higher.
Fable 2 is probably my favorite one out of all of them, man.
Yeah,
that
love
game
Fable
is badass. 2. And the TV show that I keep telling people about that a lot of people haven't watched, Carnival Row, it reminds me so much of this version of Fable that it's not even funny, man. That's part of the reason why I watched that show. If you've never played it, every decision you make, I think this was the first game like this. Every decision you made changed whether you get more and more evil or you get more and more good. And was it this one that actually changed the?
No, it was the first one.
Well, the
'Cause you
first
could
one
do the
was
same-
like that too,
the-
but what
the
I'm saying
two
is
was the-
you actually
two was the-
changed the world around you by the
Yeah,
decisions
and
you were
2
making.
was the first one where you got your dog and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I saved the dog. I couldn't help it.
yeah.
I got a clockwork dog in the third one.
Yeah.
It's one of these steampunk dogs. You know, it's a
Oh,
it's
that
a
was
built
part
robot.
of the DLC.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, Fable 2. Wait
Okay,
till
that should be
GoldenEye.
higher. That should
Oh
be
my
in,
god!
Like, that should be
Why
in
are
the
these
top
games
20.
so low? Because it's IGN, right? And
Yeah, it's
they like
IGN. They
Nintendo,
don't
right?
fucking know games, dude.
God, that's crazy.
IGN should be in the top. GoldenEye should be in the top 20.
I mean, GoldenEye is the definitive game of that genre.
Yeah. And
Top
it's the last
20.
first-person shooter I ever played.
Yeah.
That's the last one I ever played, right there.
You know what's funny, Joe, is that's on Xbox Series S.
I had, yeah,
Is
I got
it?
it. You can
yeah,
they gave it to me for free because
Oh, I'm gonna have to buy it. Yes.
You
Just to
can't
play
buy
the
it.
end
It
of
came
it.
out like a month or two ago. Like it came out
Yeah.
really recently on Xbox.
And
So, oh my
it they upgraded it too. So
Oh man,
Now,
I
couldn't
love wiping out all those dudes on the satellite dish at the end of it. It's fucking awesome. Love
Yeah.
it.
Couldn't you take guys out like as soon as they spawned?
That's it. As soon as they show up,
kill?
I'm just
Yeah.
dusting them. Yes.
But yeah,
Awesome.
what it said became the blueprint for console first-person shooters. It's true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Loved it, man. That's 77
And that
is
wasn't
way
even with
too
the
low
with the
down there.
that wasn't even with a second analog stick either. Too.
Yeah.
Right.
You had
I
to use the
hated
damn
that
yellow
damn
directional
thing.
pad.
And the last one for tonight we're going to discuss is Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
That should be higher. Like
I don't know.
lower on
That
the
that has a cult following. I'm
yeah,
not
I
a
know,
big-
but that's not the first one. The first one.
I've
was
never
better
played
than
the
second.
Smash Brothers line.
Yeah.
The only ones I've played is Mario
I've
Kart.
seen it.
That's-
It's definitely a fringe.
Yeah, I
thing.
played like here's
It's
the
got
funny
its
thing.
very
Most
cult
of these
following.
games I've played them all
Mhm. But
because I'm a gamer. I
but
play
that
everything.
one right there, you know, like I said, I've never played the Super Smash Brothers storylines, but I like the Mario Kart. When it comes to Mario and shit, I'm all about Mario Kart. I can
And there
play
was
that
Mario
shit all
news
day.
today about some
Really?
some
What's
new
that
stuff coming out. I think there's a couple new games coming out later this
Mhm.
year.
for the Switch?
For the Switch, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Well, we'll have to keep our ears open about that.
they need to get a new update.
All right, boys and girls, you know what time it is, man. Rhonda's going to be home any second
Yep.
with my
You're
steak.
gonna
and
have
eggs.
your steak.
Got it. I got to eat because you know I got to get my drink on and play some Knights of the Old Republic
because
tonight.
I want to see you fuck up tonight.
Well, I'm not going to be running around in circles anymore. I know how to check
Are
the
you
map
sure
now.
about
So
that?
shush. Hey, man, don't speak it into existence. All right, don't do it. All right, let's start with Knock. Tell us what's going on with you, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just here every Wednesday. That's about it. Just, waiting for football season's coming soon.
Dude, it won't get here fast enough.
It's still going, right?
Well,
you got the USFL, you got Canadian football started, you got the European League started. I haven't been as gung ho into them as I was last year. Last year, I was just obsessed with everything football.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I think because of that lack of break right after the NFL, I went right into XFL. And now I'm kind of burnt out right now. So I haven't been into USFL, which is going into playoffs this weekend. And then Canadian football has started up. They're a couple weeks in. So
Hey,
I
did you see
haven't been
he
watching
won
that
the
much.
Super Bowl last night?
yeah, I played a Super Bowl last night, and dude, I couldn't stop OBJ, man. I was playing 22. I was playing the Browns in the Super Bowl, and this is like the second year. This is the first year I'm playing as the Salt Lake. I moved Arizona to Salt Lake, and they're the Pioneers. And first thing I do when I take over Arizona is get rid of Kyler Murray. You know, I was playing with Ben Roethlisberger's 57-year-old ass out there slinging a rock for me, right? And I couldn't stop OBJ, but I kicked a field goal on an early drive, and I heard some murmurs like you should have gone for it. Blah 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 blah. I won the game by a field goal. I won it 31-28, man, because I couldn't stop OBJ for shit. I mean, he was lighting me up. I couldn't do anything.
Listen, all I'm saying is I can't wait to get destroyed by Patrick Mahomes and his Superman flying.
Right.
It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome to see every other quarterback that's never done to start doing
we've decided that we're going to, the next time you see the pregame party, guys, that's me, Matt, and Das Wolf, and you're going to see us doing the Hall of Fame weekend. We're going to do it that weekend. I don't know the lineup. I don't know if they're doing the inductions on Sunday or if they're doing the game on Sunday, but that's when we're planning on doing it, guys. So, we're going to put together a show
the game
for that.
Thursday. I know they've played around with moving it to different
days.
Yeah.
But that's when we're going to do it. It might end up being that Sunday of Hall of Fame weekend. We might do a wrap up on it and let people know about the news in the off season and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but that's
Thursday,
when we're going to do it.
August 3rd. So we're a little over a month away.
Yep. It's getting close, man. It's getting close. I can't wait, man. And I got news for Gary. He's going to have to get another host because I'm not doing two shows back to back again this year. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm going to do my football and watch my football.
You're choosing football over wrestling?
I am choosing football over everything. For my mental, goodness, I'm going to do my football.
Trust me, I had to do that at one point. And
you got to, man. You got to.
You
All right, Matt, tell them where you're at, brother.
You can find me here every Wednesday night at 5:30. And Joe, you're talking about moving around franchises, and Madden had an idea. The Port Charlotte Privateers. There's a Port Charlotte in Florida. So just a thought.
Here's the problem. I would love, Knock just said it right there. I would love to make a team. Matter of fact, my favorite version of Madden, which right now my PS2 is on the fritz, or I would play it on a Tuesday night to start the week off, with my video gaming. I have the Privateers on that game, the 2003 Madden game, right? But today's game, you have to choose from franchises that they give you to choose from.
I got you. It's not free text
per city. Yeah, each city has its suggestions, and you have to pick
and you have to pick one.
Hey, and less programming for them, right?
He's been the Pioneers like 20 times already.
Yeah, that's the one I pick most of the time, but yeah, I'd love to do that, but they won't let you do it.
I always like the Vipers for some reason. It was always the Vipers.
The Vipers,
which I think is like either an XFL or USFL.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep. I think it's XFL. I think there is a Vipers in the XFL. Yep. Okay, so thanks for coming, Matt. Appreciate you being here, man. Jed, tell them where you at, bro.
Oh, on the game streams with Joe every Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah. And then I'm here on the show with him on Wednesday, so I do 2 shows on Wednesday, and then on Friday we're gonna have the MFer, Roadhouse. So
Roadhouse,
and it gets wild over there.
Yeah, it does.
So this week, YouTube actually put our stream 18 only for the first time.
Well, gee, I wonder why. I don't think you had enough ass pics in it, dude.
Well, we had tits and ass and cars, and we were it was a full-on just guys' night over there.
Yeah. We're going to have to recruit some girls to keep you guys in check.
Yeah. So,
but I love what you're doing with the Roadhouse, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and
very cool.
Then I off and on do stuff with the Archivist. We will be doing something with the Archivist, but it will be on Rumble only. We are going to be watching, talking, and showing clips and other things from Howard the Duck. So that's I think August the 12th. I think I'm not sure. Yeah. So
dude, you got to let us know about that, man.
Oh yeah,
when you get it all set up. We got to get a link and all that.
Yeah, you want to come over there, and then we can do basically we can.
Are you seeing Ariel over here?
Yeah, stop keeping
tits and ass. Where? Stop keeping the sexy from us, Jed.
He's
not. You got to watch this show. I'm telling you.
Go watch the show from here.
It's me that's keeping it's me from keeping it.
I will even give you the link to last week's show right here in chat. Just a second. I will give you the link because you make sure you go 33 minutes in, okay? Because we talked about comic books.
There you go.
Besides that, so here's the link to the show. for people. Well, I'm gonna put it on my channel, and then I'll put it on your channel. That's the link to last week's show.
Ariel said that she just finished watching Howard the Duck.
Yeah,
it's good
so,
stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
you got the link there in the chat.
That's the link for last week's show. That got kind of crazy. Yeah. So
you'll enjoy that, Ariel.
Yeah.
If you're all about the sexy, you'll enjoy that one. All right, Jed. Thanks for coming, man. Appreciate you being
always,
here.
Brother.
Let's let you guys know what's going on with my channel. Of course, you're watching State of the Atmosphere when me and my friends talk about this is the non-political show. We might dive into the political a little bit here and there because we know my man Jed gets triggered when he sees the woke stuff. But this is mostly pop culture stuff, and it's every Wednesday night at 5:30 p.m. Central Time, State of the Atmosphere with me and my buddies. And then later on tonight, you'll get to see part 3, not part 2. This is just, I didn't have the thumbnail made yet whenever I started this. Part 3 of my playthrough of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And I tell you, the sidekick, I've got to watch my button clicking because I keep talking to that guy by accident. And it's pissing me off.
He's such an asshole.
It's pissing me off. That guy named Karth. But anyway,
is such an asshole.
It is a fun game so far.
Yeah,
I learned a lot last time by messing up a lot. So now I know how to check my objectives and know how to read the map. And so I should do a little better tonight. That's Papa Joe Gamer. After Dark. Walkthrough of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and I do it on Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Central. And then, of course, tomorrow night, it's the political show that I do with my brother. The brothers hack the Matrix. And when we talk about hacking the Matrix, we're talking about the matrix of headlines you're barraged with during the week. We barrage you with the same headlines, but we pull back the curtain on them and let you know what's really going on with them behind the scenes. Me and Highlander hack the Matrix every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central. And then Saturday afternoon, I will be on Sketching the Privateer, where I plot the pages of the Privateer comic book. We're almost done plotting issue 2. And once I'm done with that, we're going to start in on details for the artwork on issue 1 and get it rolling. And we do that every Saturday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Central. And it's not just Justifier Jim. Anybody can, from my list of friends, can show up and come yak with me when I'm drawing. And then, of course, on Sundays, I start my little lineup with Pop Culture Minefield. I show up on some other channels as well. These are the Pop Culture Minefield shows. Sunday at 1 p.m. Central. We got a special one this weekend. Me and Johnny Rock and Das Wolfen will be making our predictions for the next 2 big pay-per-views. Sunday night is Forbidden Door. Guys, we're going to have some dream matches between, we got Daniel Bryan, he's called Bryan Danielson now over in AEW, and he's taking on Okada, the Rainmaker from New Japan, a guy I dig. Not only that, we got Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay too. This is going to be an awesome pay-per-view. We're going to do our predictions for that one. We're going to try and get Jed in on the show too. I'm going to talk to Gary about that. And
are you going to be watching it?
No, well, I'm not going to watch it live. I'm not doing a reaction show, nothing like that. We're just going to make predictions that afternoon. And that next Saturday, before we come on again the next Sunday, is Money in the Bank live from Great Britain on that Saturday. So we're going to be doing our predictions for both of the next big pay-per-views for both big promotions. So definitely tune in on Sunday at 1 p.m. Central for that. And I also do Military Mondays with Gary, Morning Coffee with Gary, Military Monday. And that's 10 a.m. Central. We always talk about some military movie that he picks for us to talk about. Last week we did Heartbreak Ridge, which is a bunch of bullshit, but it's Clint Eastwood, so it's a lot of fun to watch anyway, because, you know, Clint's Clint, man. It's a lot of fun watching him. And both of those shows are brought to you by Pop Culture Minefield and KGRA Radio. And also, I do Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central. I'm on It's Only Talk and Roll. Brian hasn't picked anything for this week, but definitely next week he's going back to the Canon Film Club, and we're going to be doing Cyborg, that classic. So be looking for that at 4 p.m. Central on Mondays. It's Only Talk and Roll on That 70s Rock Fans channel. And then, of course, I start off my streaming week with Papa Joe Gamer After Dark on Tuesday evenings. Video games, cocktails, and fails, just like tonight. We do it 2 days in a row on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Central for a couple of hours. So for my boys, Knock, Matt, and Jed, I want to thank all of you for being here, and make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff on YouTube. You guys on Rumble, definitely give me a follow over there. I need more follows over there. Just support everybody on the channel here. And until we see you again, I want to thank you guys for watching, and keep on keeping on. God bless.